Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Cherry, and I just wanted to do a really quick video today just on my top 5 saddest moments in Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII is a game that's full of emotional moments, most of which get overlooked for the most obvious one, which is of course Aerith's death. So what I wanted to focus on was just my top 5 sad moments that don't include Aerith's death. So without further ado, let's get down to it. Number 5 in my list is Barret and Dying's history. Now, Barret comes across as this big, tough guy with a bit of an anger issue, but if you actually look at what he's been through, it becomes more and more obvious why he is so angry and why he's so angry at the Shinra as well. The moment between Barret and Dying where it's revealed to Dying that Marlene is still alive, and yet he feels that his hands aren't clean enough to hold her anymore. That moment is just full of emotion, and it's so sad to see that Barret himself feels exactly the same. He feels the same as Dying, in that he doesn't feel like he's any better to look after Marlene himself. The moment itself, the fight itself, and the speech as well, it all just comes together for just a really sad moment for Barret. Sad moment number 4 for me is going to be Sector 7 being destroyed. Now, at the start of the game, you come across this ramshackle bunch of heroes known as Avalanche. Now, Avalanche really are only sort of in the first few hours of the game, but you do get to share some moments with Biggs, Wedge and Jessie, and when the pillar comes down and brings down the plate as well, you really feel Barret's pain. You know, this is his little group that he's put together, and they died, and it's mentioned in other scenes throughout the game as well about whether he wonders whether or not it was the right thing. It's pretty sad. It's a pretty sad moment. Number 3 on my list of sad moments is going to be Zack's death. Zack's death is expanded upon massively in the Final Fantasy VII Expanded Universe, but this scene is kind of a little bit of an extra bit. You don't necessarily come across this scene unless you're going back to various places when you're coming towards the end of the game. Zack's death is one of the things that triggers Cloud's messed up state of mind at the start of the game. And it's also sad as well when you look at it from the point of view of this was Aerith's first boyfriend, and now they're both dead, and he will never get back to her, and she will never find out the truth of what's happened to him. She presumes that she knows, but she doesn't really have a clue. She never did until she died. So that's sad for that respect. Number 2 on my list of Final Fantasy VII's saddest moments has to be when Red 13 discovers the truth about his father. Now, whenever you sort of speak to Red 13 about his father throughout the game, he always says that he's a coward and he ran away and abandoned his mother during this huge battle. And then when you get to Cosmo Canyon, Bugenhagen sort of hints straight away that all is not as it seems. And then you go through the G-Tribe cave to come across the great warrior that Bugenhagen is speaking about. And I think for me personally, the bit that really sort of hit me right in the guts was when the statue of Sato starts crying. That for me was just, I remember having a little cry about that when I was younger, because I just thought it was a sad moment, but at the same time it's a happy moment because Red finally realises that his father isn't the coward he thought he was, and it kind of spurs him on to become a better, I'll say better person, but we don't really know what Red's species is. And then last but not least, my saddest moment in Final Fantasy VII has to be when Bugenhagen dies. Red 13 is possibly I think he is in fact my favourite character in Final Fantasy VII. So when I first saw this scene, I was pretty cut up about it. You know, Bugenhagen is the closest thing to family that poor Red has, and then to see him die at the end of the game for me was just heartbreaking. I think that this section itself probably upset me more than Aerith's death. Aerith's death shocked me, but this scene in particular made me super sad. Anyway guys, that's all for this video. Just a quick one, just saying the saddest moments that I think happen in Final Fantasy VII. Okay guys, take care, see you soon.